And the way that I handled that, people like, oh, man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose.
Fighter needs to take almost everything. Almost everything. I take the 80% of everything.
I like that.
Canelo and Crawford recently clashed in a heated live session where Crawford didn't hold back, saying Canelo was easier to handle than expected. He claimed he never felt the power people talk about, and that despite every punch being thrown with force, none really landed effectively. Crawford added that Canelo struggles against fighters who move well and defend smartly, relying too much on head-to-head brawls, something Crawford said he controlled completely. Their exchange comes as talk of a rematch heats up, with Canelo insisting he won't lose to the same opponent twice.
It means a lot to me because, anybody can be a nobody, like I said, and that's all they say I've been fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me, what can you say now?
And say congratulations.
That's it. What can you say?
As tension between Canelo and Crawford continues to rise, two more names have entered the mix: Benavidez and Vergil Ortiz. If this heated buildup isn't leading to a rematch, there's a good chance promoter CaneloAlvarez could set Crawford up against one of them. Crawford has made it clear he never goes back once he moves out of a weight class and has no plans to retire anytime soon. He says he feels good at his new weight, but fans are beginning to wonder how long he can hold his own with so many top fighters now gunning for him.
Retire. You see, Canelo is a strong fighter, and every punch he throws comes with power, right? That breaks down the body. Physically, his body is breaking down. Plus, he just had a kid. Canelo wants to go enjoy his life. He wants to keep his wits, keep his mind together, stay sharp, and go enjoy a little bit of that money that he just made. But he could not pass.
Unbeaten contender Vergil Ortiz, who watched the fight closely, shared his thoughts with Fight Hub TV, saying he wasn't shocked by the result of Crawford's historic bout with Canelo, but did expect more from the Mexican star. "I wasn't surprised," Ortiz said. "I just thought Canelo would do a little better." Crawford did exactly what he needed to do. His remarks made it clear that Ortiz is keeping a close watch on the sport's biggest matchups, showing both respect for Crawford's performance and mild disappointment in Canelo's showing.
You want to fight Terence Crawford right now?
I would love to fight him, man. I think he's like probably the #1 pound for pound fighter right now.
Do you think he's out of his peak?
No.
Or is he in his peak now?
I think he's in his peak.
And you're saying you could be the peak prime Terence Crawford?
I'm saying I believe that I can.
After the fight, Ortiz showed clear respect for Crawford, but didn't hesitate to say that Canelo fell short of expectations. When asked if he'd consider moving up to middleweight to face Crawford someday, Ortiz confidently said he'd be open to it. Since turning pro in 2016, Ortiz has maintained a flawless record with 23 straight wins, most recently extending his streak in February by defeating former WBA super welterweight champion Israel Madrimov. His undefeated run and latest victory add real credibility to his willingness to challenge Crawford at a higher weight.
A fight with Benavidez.
You gotta understand.
I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't,
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. His brother was big when I fought him. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. He might be thick, but he's not a big dude. Benavidez is like 6.
Meanwhile, Canelo is focused on reclaiming his place at the top as his career edges toward its final chapters. Blocking his path is a familiar rival, David Benavidez. But it appears Benavidez now has his sights set elsewhere, calling out Terence Crawford once again and accusing him of avoiding a fight. The WBC light heavyweight champion made it clear that if a matchup ever happens, his size and power would make all the difference, saying in an interview, "I definitely use my size, reach, and weight to my advantage."
Maru, Terence Crawford versus the Mexican monster David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh
Canelo.
my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. The reason why he went up because nobody.
While Benavidez acknowledged Crawford's talent, he mixed praise with sarcasm, saying, "Crawford is a smart fighter. Luckily, I won't be fighting him." His remark seemed designed to provoke the undisputed champ and stir more buzz about a possible showdown. Having recently fought at 175 pounds and even nearing 200 during training, Benavidez is clearly comfortable at heavier weights. Crawford, on the other hand, has spent most of his career in lighter divisions, with 168 being his latest limit. Benavidez hinted at flexibility, saying he plans to drop back to 168 if Crawford accepts the fight. He also suggested Crawford should forget about Canelo and look ahead, because, according to Benavidez, the next big challenge for Crawford is losing to him.
68, if Benavidez come down there, I don't think he beats Bud.
Okay, I dig.
That's my opinion. People want to sound crazy, but
No, the skill is. I mean, the skill is. The skill is there. Like, it's just usually because someone's a little bit bigger, right?
yes, and they think like, okay, you got to be able to take certain punishment that the other guy's putting on you. But I watched Bud when he.
Despite Benavidez's eagerness, Crawford's camp doesn't seem interested. His trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, has made it clear that a fight with Benavidez isn't part of their plans. Sources close to the situation say only a massive multi-million-dollar deal could make it happen. Still, Benavidez continues to issue warnings, boldly claiming that Crawford would fall just like the rest against the Mexican monster.
Bud catch those shots off his glove.
He looked amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. He'd go to a body and he'd catch that and come up with an uppercut. You know, just all those things that seem.
He looked great.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that to ever.
No one has. Yeah, he's the best.
Canelo.
Yeah, he's the best.
And I think he would do that to Canelo on his best day. And Canelo said it. He goes, I couldn't figure him out.
No.
Speaking on the 4 Pound Pound podcast, Benavidez didn't hold back, saying Crawford wouldn't be able to handle his pressure. Against my pressure, he'd give up like the others, he declared. His bold statement drew attention, especially since Crawford had just defeated CaneloAlvarez to become the undisputed champion at 168 pounds.
We're at 168. When we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look.
Right, not now. It's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no. But then, when you look at these fights,
David Benavidez's father, Jose Benavidez Sr., added more fuel to the fire by claiming that Crawford wouldn't last more than 3 or 4 rounds with his son. In an interview with Diario Dean, he made it clear that their camp is both confident and deliberately stirring up the American champion. After Crawford's recent win over Canelo, many expected Canelo to lose his championship standing. But fans are now watching closely to see how he ranks across the different sanctioning bodies following the upset.
And he took that deep breath. It's frustrating. Don't get me wrong. Canelo facing the right opponent that's going to stay in front of him, that's going to fight, that's going to make it a brawl. Canelo knocks him out. So I'm not saying Canelo's shot or done. No, it's far from it.
Crawford isn't staying quiet about his rise. He's making it clear that he's not dropping back down in weight and has no plans to retire anytime soon. Confident and composed, he knows every top fighter now wants a piece of him. Crawford continues to stress how Canelo was easier to handle than expected, saying the Mexican relies too much on trading punches instead of strategy. He emphasizes fighting smart, staying
between Terence Crawford and Canelo. Personally, I do not want to see a rematch. Usually rematches are in order when it's a very close fight and you can't really tell, which fighter won. There was a lot of close rounds, swing rounds. That wasn't the case in this fight. Terence Crawford won pretty handedly. I personally scored the fight 9-3. Being generous, you can give it 8-4.
Following the Canelo versus Crawford fight, the WBO became the latest organization to update its rankings, placing Canelo at number 1 in the super middleweight division, just like the WBC. While the move isn't surprising, it's significant because it shows that the sanctioning bodies still view Canelo as one of the top fighters in his class, believing he remains capable of defeating nearly anyone at his weight.
To have just one name at 160, 154, I mean, it's just hard for him, ideally, to just see a fight. No names designated at the moment. Would you be okay to see him retire?
I would. Look, he's had a great career also. Yes, he's older, but he don't have mileage.
It's going to happen. But I thought he was going to stop him in the 8th or 10th round. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Once again, man, what is...
On the other side, Canelo is already plotting his next move, with rematch talks still going strong as he insists there's no way he could lose to Crawford twice. But Crawford isn't dismissing him. He's saying that if the rematch happens, fans can expect an even sharper, more dominant performance. So what do you think? Will we see Crawford and Canelo go head-to-head again? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more updates.